Hello everyone, I am here today to discuss my first-ish experience with an audiobook and my thoughts and feelings about audiobooks. And it's just kind of a discussion. You can completely disagree with me and I want to hear about it. You can completely agree with me and I want to hear about it. So it's just an open discussion. So when I say my first-ish audiobook experience, I mean that because when I was younger, my parents tried to get me into Harry Potter for the first time, and I had the first 2 books of Harry Potter on audiobook, and I didn't like to read then, so obviously I didn't enjoy them. And I've never listened to an audiobook since until about a couple weeks ago. Macmillan sent me an audiobook version of Landlines by Rainbow Rowell, and I was super excited, and it came just in time because it was right before BEA, and so I had a 4-hour car ride between Maryland and Jersey where I was staying with a friend before traveling in and out of the city for BEA. So I knew that this was going to be a perfect way of spending my time in traveling, and you know, when you're driving you can't really read at the same time. If you do, I suggest that you stop that. That's probably not a good idea. But I'm guessing the majority of us don't. At least I'm hoping. So I'm still relatively new to Rainbow Rowell. I loved Fangirl. Hands down one of my favorite contemporary books. So good. I have yet to read Attachments, and I honestly don't think I'll read Eleanor and Park. I've really tried reading the synopsis and getting excited. It just, for some reason, does not intrigue me. But Attachments does, and the concept of Landlines did. So I was super excited to have this audiobook in my hands. In general, I still don't think they're my cup of tea. They are a great way to pass the time when you're traveling and you're doing other things. I think my main argument against audiobooks is the fact that you don't get that experience. I still am somewhat feel like I'm being told a story versus immersing myself in the story. Because there are times where I can picture things in my head, but then I constantly have the narration going on, and so I have to imagine the scenes afterwards, like after the person talked about the scene or what the person said, and so I don't feel like I'm fully able to immerse myself into the story. Along the same lines are like the characteristics that the narrator gives the characters. For instance, in Landlines, I felt like I would have had a very different perception of Georgie, the main character, if I felt like the narrator didn't make her so whiny. It was almost like the narrator would say something and then I'd have to re-say it and rethink it in my head the way that I would read it. And so I wasn't fully able to A, connect, as I've said, but B, it was just the character wasn't my character. It was a perception of my character through someone else's eyes, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that all audiobooks are bad. This is just from one of the experiences that I was able to have, because I know that some people love audiobooks. I just personally don't think they're my cup of tea, as well as it's hard to try other audiobooks after you've had kind of an okay experience with one because they're just so darned expensive. I don't want to have to pay $30 for an audiobook that I might not like, you know? And I don't think that the samples that they give you accurately show, what the narrator is going to be doing throughout the book later on, because the book started off okay with me and then it got kind of around the middle, and that's where I felt like the whininess got to me. It's not that the narrator's voice itself was whiny, but I felt like she made the character seem very whiny and pitiful. But I feel like I would have been able to sympathize more, I guess, with the character and reading through their eyes versus being told. I don't know. I think it's just a completely different experience. My main argument is that it's hard for me through hearing someone tell me a story to actually connect with the story. So let me know down below, do you love audiobooks? Are they not your cup of tea? Please let me know, because I know that there is the whole debate about, you know, ebooks and print books, and I'm interested to see where audiobooks falls into that. So I'd really love to hear your experiences with audiobooks, if you will try them, if you have not tried them, and if you liked it and if you didn't, etc, etc. So that is it for today. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Goodreads, Tumblr, and Twitter. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye! Like showering and stuff where you can't really read unless you're Christine, because she brings that shit into her bathroom in the shower with her, and I'm just not that skilled.